Welcome back to 515 Garage. Today we're going to do a small little project. I'm thinking about restoring my trunk. This is what it looks like. It's pretty rusty from, I'm assuming, years of these seals on these taillights being worn out and letting water in. It's pretty crusty in here. So I'm going to remove all of this old deadening and all that junk. And you can see the wires are frayed. I got to replace that one. I'm going to sand all this down, mask off the important parts like this rubber tube here for the gas, mask off this coil because I want to save that, and then I got some bed liner and I'm going to bed line the whole thing. So I'm going to do some updates for you. Eventually I'm not going to bed line up here because I want to stick a light up here so I have a light in the trunk. So I'm going to take this battery out and I'm going to get back to you when I start sanding. Okay, so I took the battery out, took out the brackets. You can see it's pretty crusty. There's a vent tube that like airs out the battery. First time I've seen one of these, but I didn't want to break it, so I'm going to mask that off. That's what holds the battery in. There's the tray, and I'm going to put a little Rust-Oleum on these brackets because they're pretty crusty, and I just sanded them down. So we're going to paint these and sand all of this down. And I'll get back to you when that's all sanded. Alright, welcome back. I got a lot of sanding done here. A lot of that rust is gone. There's so many like nooks and crannies that it's hard to really get sandpaper in there. I will leave this top part here. Some of that surface rust got sanded off as best I could. This part is kind of really hard because there's a lot of junk down there and there's a lot of wires, and I really don't want to mess any of this up. But for the most part, it's sanded, and I think it'll be covered anyway. This junk, I gotta find a vacuum and vacuum that up, and the next clip will probably be me undercoating this. Alright, my first coat turned into most of the can, but you could tell it made a huge difference there. Still very, very wet. I put it on super thick, but this stuff, it doesn't really matter because I'm going to leave, and then this stuff is going to have a long time to dry. Actually, tomorrow I'm going to try to get it into the shop, get on a lift, and work out that diff thing. But I undercoated the brackets over there and trunk. So I'm going to finish off the can, and then there you go. Okay, so here's the finished product. It took about 4 hours just to dry, and then I had to use a heat gun on it. It's pretty thick stuff. So tried to make it as stock as possible. Got the spare back in, got my jack and everything painted and wrapped up in there. And this spot's a little tacky still, but for the most part, really cleaned it up. I added a little light here because there's no light inside the trunk. So I think it really cleaned the trunk up. Makes a huge difference. I got the battery installed, got everything else installed. So, and I put the stock wheels back on. So that's how you can restore your trunk.